We're live again. Can you hear us this time? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? We're live.
That was from the
That
first
was
time.
the old one. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you see us? Can you see us? Can you pick up? Yeah, we have sound. We have sound. We have sound.
All right, so we're back,
We
I
are
think.
back.
So we got to rebuild our audience. Hopefully, some of them come back because we have amazing things we want to talk about with you guys about. But while they're coming back, we could talk to each other.
Yes, but I also have we're a full screen. I can't even get to Mark stuff. I can't, I don't even know what to do right now other than to just be in this moment. Peggy says, yes, I can hear.
Oh,
Welcome
yeah.
back, Peggy.
Hmm.
Hey, Uzama.
I don't know how
Hey.
to not do this either.
Exactly. I like it, but I don't
But
know
this is
how
the
to.
only way it works. Is by
No,
going.
I don't know if that's the only way it works. I know that this is a big screen. We've never had this big screen like this before.
Right.
But it's
Um,
full screen, and I don't know how to get behind the full screen. I've hit escape. Usually that's the way you get
Click on
out
a
of it.
blank space or something like that. Anyway, we're doing too much live speed. Like click on the blinks right there. No, no, not,
This
not on that. No, just
that's,
there. You just click off of it. Not
there's
that.
no off of it.
Okay.
That
Interesting.
is interesting. Maybe we need to just be here and we need a producer because some of what we're trying to do is what we
Praise God. Maybe we need a producer for our
maybe.
show. We had a producer a couple of times, but it just didn't work out great for us.
Mhm.
But maybe it's time to get another producer. God is sending us help, baby. It's time to accept more help. Um, and she's right. We're not going to be able to do everything. It looks like
And
that
it
we're
looks
going.
like that's the season that I'm at. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. And it actually reminds me of that story that you tell that Breon actually gave us another ending to it, but the original story of the tortoise and the hare.
Yes, I love that story.
You want to share
Not yet. I want to tell it when we get our audience back.
it? Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
But I
grateful.
do want to highlight thank you for coming back in the room, Uzama. Thank you, Dr. Deborah, for coming back in the room. I'm looking for the amazing people that we already saw earlier today, like Kenny Tucker and Peggy. I am Prosperity to come back into the room.
Yeah.
Um, it's technical difficulties,
I
challenges.
don't even know what time it is in the world like right now. That's so interesting how much we depend on different things. We depend on the time being in the lower right hand corner. We depend on being
Sure.
able to do multiple things at one time, but it's quite possible we are in the season of right now and just right here.
It seems like the only thing you can do from here now is
Is
just
right
end
here.
it. No, or
Yeah,
stay
end
here.
it or stay here.
That's what we're gonna have to
And
do.
so maybe that's what we need. But
So you
I
guys
need you
can
to
hear us.
know, please confirm that you can hear us. And if there's someone that you believe needs to be here, please, please, please invite them and have them come.
Especially the people that were already in here earlier today.
Yes.
Um, and we can't. There's more people in the room that's on the screen. We can't see them. But anyway, I don't want it to hold up. Vicky Linnell Evans came back in the room. Good morning. Jay Mattier is back in the room. Good
Good
morning, sir.
morning. Good morning.
Um,
Please, please, please let us know you're here. We are really walking by faith this morning in a whole new and different way. And sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable, but it's also sometimes needful.
Now she's talking about the broadcast, okay? Because we were in here earlier and then lost sound. I know you guys were hearing us because you were commenting. Then we lost sound. We could not figure it out, so we decided to end that stream altogether and start over from the beginning. And now that we did, now you can hear us. I think you can hear us.
And see us.
I think you can hear us and see us. I want to confirm that too.
Absolutely.
End that stream.
But
Okay.
please, please, please confirm that you are here. And we want to do what the Lord has for us to do this morning. Our topic is men need men
Mhm.
and women need women. And I promise you that it is a direct result of the experience that we both individually had and then had the opportunity to share after on last night.
Good morning, Stephanie Morris. And
Hey,
while we're waiting
Stephanie.
for folks to get back in the room, I want to talk to you, sweetheart, about. Thank you, Stephanie, for responding. They can hear us now. We had a moment, Stephanie, when no one could hear us. We had to restart over. But what have we learned and what have we become along the way? Since 2013, at least twice a month. And there was a season where we were doing it 4 times a month, hosting these men's meetings and hosting these women's meetings. I had an amazing opportunity yesterday to tell someone else who's never been to our men's meeting what the experience has done for me. We've been talking lately about, was it you and I, someone in the room the other way? Guy was talking about if I lost all my money, I can make it again because I learned how, you know? People that achieve something, if they lost it all, they can do it again. We can do it again because we've learned how. And I always thought of this, the reason why that's true is because of what you become along the way. What you become. You become the person who can accumulate that. You become the kind of person who can accomplish that thing. You become the kind of person who can climb that mountain or take that hill or make that money or secure that thing. You become that. And I'm curious as to what you think you become in the last uh, 13 years of hosting this meeting. No, 12 years. 12 years of hosting this meeting. Hosting the women's meeting, and men for me. I think I've become more patient and loving. I think so.
Patience is definitely one of the lessons learned, and understanding that there is space for both things to be right.
You know, a couple of years ago, you were speaking at a women's meeting in Ocean City, Maryland. I think it was one of Barbara's meetings, and
One of Dr. Barbara's
Dr. Barbara's meetings. Yeah, we've been doing this for 12 years. The men meeting and the women's meeting, not this top show here. The show's been 9 years. But I had spoken one year and it was really good. I thought the feedback I got was amazing. But what they learned they had this one man speak at the women's retreat is even if the man is great, he didn't add, he took away because it caused women to have to either dress differently. You know, it's just women. They might show up in the room in their pajamas, or they might have to dress differently. They might have to act differently because there's one man involved. And I know that factored in. So she said, no more men. This is going to be just women because we need just women's energy in this room. I know what happens in the men's meeting. If not even if we see another one, like if somebody has a picture on their wall behind them and they screen of a woman, it changes the room. We gotta have all the women out of the room. If we hear women walking down the hall laughing, changes the room. So there's something to be said about protecting that man's space during that time and the woman's space. That's what I've learned.
And learning that while still honoring that, yes, you may have the right to be there. You may have, it might be happening at your house. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from going in my kitchen. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from going. You might have the right, but all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient.
Yes, Mark Greer, I'm so happy that you're here. He says, grand, grand, grand rising. Just an FYI. The men's meeting last night was fire. And he's right. I am so proud of you, Mark Greer. I put Mark Greer on the spot last night. I put him on the spot and he delivered. We had an amazing meeting. The transparency level was high, but we had a few people that was their first time there. A couple, 2 or 3 people the first time there last night. And I I recognize I'm a great communicator. I'm a great speaker, but the way Mark Greer does this particular thing, Mark Greer very often will remind us, more so than anyone else in the meeting. He reminds us of, you guys are coming in here, but do you realize what you got? Do you realize how important this is? Do you realize what's actually going on here? Do you realize the blessing of having this circle? And Mark has consistently, because we forget how important it is. So Mark always reminds us. So I said to Mark, and at the end of the meeting, Mark, I want you to speak to the importance of this meeting, especially to the new guys. I want you to do it in Mark style. And I made it a big thing and all that stuff. And I says, Mark, do you understand the assignment? And he says, yes, I got you, Brian. And he went into a prepared presentation.
Prepared. An anointed is what you could
He
call
put in an anointed presentation. He brought it. Mark, you delivered live speed and on the spot. He delivered an encouraging word, a powerful word, about the importance of it, and he shifted everybody in the room. It shook us all up. It did it for me. Sent a tingle up your brother. I'm like, oh wow, he delivered. Good job, Mark Grill. While put on the spot. And why can he do that? Because he's a professional. He works at his craft. You're not gonna catch him off guard when delivering an opportunity to deliver a message. But you delivered last night, brother. Thank you.
All of those things are true. He's a professional. He studies. He prepares. He's also anointed.
Yes, Dr. Shayna M. Scott. Good morning to you too, my sister. We're talking about men need men. You're right, Kenny Tucker.
Oh, love you, Kenny.
Kenny Tucker says
the word fire is not a senior citizen.
Mark Greer said we can't say fire, man.
Not unless there is a fire.
I heard a lesson today from a friend of mine named Chuck Goldberg. He's a sales trainer, but he's also a stand-up comedian. Mark Greer says, "You're welcome, my brother. Iron sharpens iron, and brother uplift brothers. That is what we do. We did that last night, boy. We surely did." A friend of mine he wrote up just this morning. I just read it. He did a comedy set, and it was called OGs. All the comedians were older. Okay, the OG comedy set in Queens, New York, last night. And he said there's another guy there who's really, really funny and experienced, very experienced, but he didn't do his set wasn't good. And the reason why his set was, and he's talking about a time when he first started doing stand-up comedy, he had a bad set. The reason why was he was doing comedy to Orthodox Jews, and he was telling jokes about Seinfeld and the movie The Godfather. And Orthodox Jews don't watch TV like that. They didn't see the movie, so they didn't laugh. And last night, this guy's references were so old. He was talking about James Bond movies. That's why it didn't do well. You gotta know your audience. So when Kenny says the word fire, it's not for seniors.
Not for seniors. Mind you, we're almost the seniors.
We're seniors, baby. We're over 55.
We're almost the seniors. Actually, seniors are older than us. I realize I realize that I'm an elder now.
Okay.
But seniors is a whole nother feather. And I'm grateful for being able to see the day. But it's a whole new season.
No, you're a senior now.
No, I'm an elder now.
Can we get a ruling on this? Are we seniors yet?
It's okay. I'll accept it if that's the way I'm seen, but that is not my understanding.
Mark, you ain't gonna let that slide?
Go ahead.
Mark, you're not gonna just let that Kenny Tucker slide?
That's it.
You gonna get him off of that too?
Yep. That's how I have to handle Ernest, because that's love.
Mark Greer says, Kenny Tucker, I need you to take a break from that spike for a second. We senior citizens paved the way for you young bucks. You better recognize. Mark ain't gonna let that slide, huh?
Absolutely not.
Oh man, we had new people in the room, and Kenny's the youngest person that comes regularly. And so there was a guy in the room that we weren't sure if he's younger than Kenny or not. So finally, somebody asked him his age, and he's like 3 years older than Kenny. So we all got this. No, Kenny, you're still the baby of the bunch, man.
That's it. Stephanie says, I say at 65 plus, I will be a senior. I agree.
You know what? Okay, will you accept a senior discount at a restaurant?
I will.
Me too. Why will you do that? Will you accept
senior 55?
Will you accept senior discounts at a movie theater?
I will.
Of course you will.
But they don't have, just like you have preteens, teens, right? It's not the same thing. That's right.
Stephanie, really?
50 to 65 is a whippersnapper. Absolutely.
I'm a whippersnapper.
I am a whippersnapper. We are young.
We are not whippersnappers.
Absolutely.
Okay, Stephanie, I know you're between 50 and 65. We're between 50 and 65.
We're older than Stephanie.
Okay, we're older than Stephanie, but still, Stephanie, do you make a noise when you sit down or get up sometimes? Do you? You do any of that?
You know what's so interesting? Even as I intentionally, it came through Brother Mark, but I can't get to it after we had to restart the show. Everything is different, and I cannot access
We'll
your
have to,
submission.
and this might be God, Mark, but we have to submit that tomorrow or another day.
We will.
So you're our age, Stephanie. I'm 57 as well.
Mhm.
You're a senior too, Stephanie.
We're not seniors, we're elders. Talk to somebody 65 and try to be in their category.
I get that. But talk to someone 45.
That's different.
And then ask that
That's
question.
because they don't know no better, bless their heart.
Wow.
Bless their heart.
They don't know no better.
They don't know no better.
I'm going to say this.
All old, and we're not.
Men do need men.
Absolutely.
And women do need women. And there is a time when only women can serve women.
Absolutely.
And there's a time when only men can serve men. Some of the stuff that we say to each other in the privacy of our room, we can say no other places.
No.
So we do need each other. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I make many noises, but I'm ignoring the aches and pains. You know what's interesting about that, Stephanie? Thank you for sharing. I have been moving about and deliberately intending not to make noise.
You've been intending not to?
If deliberately, like taking the moment to, what do you call it when you constrict your muscles so that they'll be stronger? So taking the moment to make it a deliberate decision to stand up, contracting.
Okay.
Exactly. And still that sound comes out. And I'm like,
I'm not going to bother to try not. Stephanie says, men do need men. I wish men folks would
men folks would join your session.
I wish they would too, Stephanie. But you know, last night taught me some other things too. I know, Stephanie, that men
I
need
have to
men.
move back. I'm sorry.
Okay. I know that men do need men because we all feel better. And there was a brother there last night that had been going through by himself.
Hey, Sister Arletta.
Whoa. Is that the Arletta Allen?
The one and only.
Is that our Arletta Allen coming in here? Good morning, my sister. Today's topic is men need men and women need women. But we always go around the mulberry bush too. Arletta Allen, if you don't know, not only is an amazing speaker herself, but she also helps other people to become amazing speakers too. That's what she do.
Thank you for finding us again, Dr. Beverly. For those of you who don't know, when we started this show, it started out with sound the first time, and then all of a sudden the sound left us, and we were in limbo. And then now we had to restart everything. When we came back, now we have no access to anything else on our screen except the show. I realize that it is now 9:30, and it is time for our Today in African American History. We missed the Wisdom Wednesday segment, but I believe we have had what is needful, and we will bring forth the wisdom of Brother Mark in due season. And thank you so much for your patience and bearing with us. We love and appreciate you. Today in African American History by Michael A. Carson. On this day in history, May the 21st, in 1982, Roscoe Robinson Jr. became the first African American to be a 4-star general in the U.S. Army. He was also the first African American representative on the NATO Military Committee. He served at posts in the United States and abroad, including assignments as commanding general of the United States Army in Japan and as commander of a battalion of the 1st Cavalry Division during the Vietnam conflict. Robinson was considered a war hero. His decorations include the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Master Parachutist Badge. He remained active after his retirement by serving on several corporate boards.
1982 was the first 4-star general.
The first African American 4-star general.
First African. That's amazing to me. Y'all heard of Colin Powell, but Colin Powell wasn't the first one. But still, 1982 was the first one. I'm sitting here, and he was a 4-star. Now, that's not very common at all. You got 5 stars, up to 5 stars. You got Brigadier General, You got Major General, you got Lieutenant General, and you got General. And the only way you get to a 5-star if you're actively in war, okay, going on, then you become a 5-star. But that happens only when we're engaged in a real war, typically something like World War One or World War Two or Vietnam. That's the only time 5-stars even available.
Iraq wasn't a war?
Iraq was a war, I guess.
Oh.
It was. It was a war. But that's when 5-stars are available, but that's rare. But even a 4-star is very rare to get to be a 4-star general, and he's the first one. Now you can be a brigadier to be the first generals. There's plenty of those. But the first 4-star over generals and over battalions and over countries, basically. That's amazing to me.
Wow. Good morning, Monique. Thank you for joining this morning. I hope that your birthday week and your birthday month has been everything that you needed to be.
And today's May 21st. It's also my firstborn's birthday, Brianna. Today's her birthday.
In my head, I always call her Brian A.
Yeah, that's her name, Brianna, and that's how we named her, the female version of Brian. She's 35 today. 35 today. I love her very much, but I don't want to be in the company of anybody close to her age. I'm not hanging out with her, y'all. Ugh. I had a daughter your age.
Good morning, Sister Vicky Linnell.
I haven't posted it yet, but I will.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Sister Shauna Ace.
So
Scott,
they remember
Shauna
that
A.
age.
Scott, amen.
Dr. Shauna Scott, yep. I will
Dr.
tell you.
Shauna Scott.
Yes. Last night, in Lisa's practice as a coach's coach and a spiritual counselor, and my practice as a sales coach and also as a coach of men, very often we're in a position where we have to remind our clients of how amazing they are. Because adults forget. They forget that they have skills.
That's what I thought the topic was today.
Okay.
But go ahead.
A lot of adults forget how amazing they are. Sister Arletta, a lot of adults forget how kind they are, how special they are. And they need someone to remind them of how special they are. And I think male empowerment networks do that for the men. And I suspect strongly that the women empowerment networks do that for the women that gather with us.
Amen. And also does that for those in leadership of that. And we often don't say it enough that you guys are important to us as well in our personal growth and development and where God wants us to go, be, have, and do. And I'm just grateful for that. Monique
amazing.
says, I remember that age. That's
too.
right.
I remember.
Monique has turned 48 on this beautiful birthday. So she is almost a grown-up and has almost earned a seat at a table.
We count 50 as grown.
50, you get to come and sit at the table. At 48, you can come hang out in some of the spaces, but you don't get a seat at the table.
Now, she's more literal and harsh on that than I am. I'll give a little more grace on that. You don't have to be all the way 50, but Lisa's not playing with that. That's how she rolled with it. Okay. Oh, man.
And we are grateful that you guys are here today. I am in a mindset to, again, pull an amazing mindfulness card for our group. And the card that I am choosing is I am an original work of art. I am an original work.
The declaration.
The declaration is I am an original work of art.
There's no one like you.
There's no one like you. No one
like you.
We all know that we have different fingerprints, right? But what we also need to realize that we also have different experiences.
No one has your unique
even if you're
collection.
A twin, a triplet, you might have the same exact DNA because that's what twins have. Identical twins have the exact same DNA, but you still have had different experiences.
That's right. They've seen things different.
Different skills, different skills, gifts, and talents.
Yep.
Different perspectives.
And because there's only one of you, and there's value in all that is rare.
Mm-hmm.
You're rare. There's value, tremendous value in everything that's rare. So don't make yourself a copy or a common or like everybody else.
You're not like everybody
Stop
else.
lumping yourself into the category of everybody else that has a similar job as you or similar profession as you. You're not like all of them.
Respectful differences.
Yeah. You're not just a real estate agent. No, you're you as a real estate agent. You're not just us. Oh, I'm a speaker. I do speaking. This is one that kills me. What do you do? I do motivational speaking. Oh God, what a horrible way to answer that question.
The word just came into the conversation several times on last night. And oftentimes it is a nebulous little word that sneaks in to minimize everything that you know about yourself.
I'm just a housewife. I'm just a housewife.
You're just a
You're a
housewife?
household manager. You are rearing and raising and preparing young people. You are managing a budget. You are keeping the ship moving. You are feeding people, clothing people, leading people, teaching people. It's not just a housewife.
One of our ladies said, she started out saying, I'm just persevering.
No, you're not.
The thing is,
Just
we
persevering.
even minimize perseverance. She is doing everything she can with every ounce of strength in her body. And there may not be room for anything else.
Right now.
There may not be room for anything else. But perseverance is the needful part. So that is exactly what you have. What is it that you're
We need
looking for?
another phone. Because we keep,
Oh, that's okay. We don't move.
okay.
I can show you what time it is.
All right. It's not gonna be-
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm checking it from time to time.
Okay.
But you're right. We need a clock on the wall.
Clock on the wall sounds like such a old thought.
But it's needful, and that's another thing we get to do as we age, to realize that there's a time and a season for all things and everything under the sun. There's nothing wrong with it. She still got a clock on the wall. You got a clock on your phone. You got a clock on your watch. You don't even need a watch. You got a clock on everything.
And the 80s, early 90s, Peter Drucker. And it became like the business Bible for a season in search of excellence. And he come what the best companies in America do, and they had a bunch of different companies highlighted. And it was talking. There was a section in on how when you take over a position as leader, you know, don't come in and just try to flip over the table. You know, you got to come in easy. And he said, as an example in the book, I think he's talking about this example where he says, "Look, I'm new here. I know I'm in charge, but I'm new here. I can't make big changes right away." He's talking to the staff. But is there anything little that I can help you with, and that we can help move us in the right direction? And one of the suggestions was if they would put a clock on the wall in the break room, it'll make it easier for us all to make sure that we get back on time.
Yeah.
Something as simple as a clock on the wall in the break room, I can make that happen right away. And that made him look like
he was getting things done.
Something as simple as that.
And it's quite often the case that they may have mentioned this before to someone else, and they thought that was not big enough of a deal to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's not worth my time. I'm not even thinking about this. They poo-pooed it.
But all things have their time and space and season, and being mindful of that and holding space for that.
This was in a different topic today. Today's show topic has been, today's broadcast has been very different because of the disjointedness of it. But praise God for Lisa's professionalism keeping us going, and me too. It's 9:40. We're about to do what's called the greeting songs. And I'm almost compelled to do everybody's, even the ones we can't see, because they were here earlier. And then we went away from them. Technology made it happen like that. Actually, we're just going to do what we got here.
Let the Lord lead it.
Okay. Greeting songs is our way of saying thank you to those of you who choose to come and contribute. This podcast is driven by contributions in the comment section. And the ones that do it regularly, we like to thank them with a greeting song and a greeting logo. If you go to the top, please.
And thank you guys for making this stop by place. We appreciate you deciding to hang out with us today, even for a little while.
For example, Uzama Ra was first in the room, but he has a greeting song. It goes like this.
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King.
Uzama.
Bitcoin King, he's the Bitcoin King. Uzama.
She's shaking her shoulders and singing that man's song. Yes. Why is she doing that? Because he has earned it by adding to what we do here. Dr. Deborah Dunstan has a song too.
Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach.
Mm-hmm. She gets a song too? Yes.
Yes,
she gets a song. because she shows up consistently. Thank you, Dr.
Stephanie
Deborah.
has a song.
Stephanie Morris has a song too, and it goes like this.
Stephanie.
Life has new meaning to me.
There's beauty up above.
And things we never take notice of. You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Wow, she gets all of that for her song? Yes, she does.
She does.
You think that was a production? Wait till you hear Mark Greer's jam. Mark Greer's jam goes like this. So wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now. He get all of that funk and all of that in
All the
his
fun. Because he bring the fun when he come in around.
Oh, why does he get all it? Because he's earned it. Kenny Tucker's got a jam too. He goes, Kenny! Kenny Tucker was the name that they gave him. Kenny! Kenny Tucker was the name that they gave him. That came from Snoop Dogg was murder. Murder was the case that they gave him. Okay?
Amen. And we just love that you guys allow us to assign these monikers to you. Arletta, we love you. And we thank you.
My sister Arletta. Etta.
That's
Hey,
somebody else's
that's
song.
right.
You
Love
can't
my
give us
sister
some-
Arletta. Etta.
Good morning again, Monique. Moni in the middle. Where's she at? In the middle. Moni in the middle. Where that at? In the middle.
I know Vicki Linnell Evans came through. She's got a jam too, and it goes Vicki Evans rocks. Steady. Steady rocking all night long. Vicki Evans rocks. Steady. Rocking till the break of.
Rocking to the break of dawn, y'all.
Dr. Beverly found this again. You think we said something before? Dr. Beverly got one of them jams too, and it goes like this. Dr. Beverly is on the show. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. And good morning to you and the rest of your crew. She often watches and shares us with her crewmates.
Absolutely. Peggy, we thank you for coming back in the room.
Peggy's back in the room and in my Biggie Smalls voice. Peggy, can't you see? Somehow your words just hypnotize me. She's gonna motivate you every day. Peggy J. Evans is here to stay. Today, please check the time for me. Tonight, if you know someone in financial services or in insurance, we host at 8 p.m. tonight. Thank you. Empowering Financial Professionals Group, helping them to sell themselves and their services better. Tomorrow, live and in person, networking and learning and loving and having fun.
Absolutely.
We host Business Club Concord. If you're anywhere near Concord,
hang out with us. We have a fantastic guest on tomorrow. This is Demetrius Benson.
and check the name of her title of her talk. Starting from the bottom. Oh, I can't wait to hear what she's going to talk about. But that's the title. Starting from the bottom.
I started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Mike Jones, we know that one.
That's right.
And I am personally super excited about this upcoming Saturday at 3 p.m.
Absolutely.
Charlotte Boss is a big symposium. Big workshop in town. They're going to have workshops and speakers. They only have 3 featured speakers as I last checked. And I'm one of them. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to rock white on white with my white Pumas. Ho!
And tomorrow morning, we have a special guest. My favorite student that we have in our Empowering Financial Professionals class, who is also a young lady who is helping.
Even younger than Kenny.
Oh, my goodness. She is one of our babes. I call her Brookie. I don't know if you can call her that, but her name is Brooke Gilliam, and she is going to be bringing some information. So bring yourself here tomorrow.
Prayerfully, we have all the technical difficulties cleared, and we'll be going forward with that. I know my brilliant wife, she'll figure it out, because that's what Lisa do. She'll figure it out. Yep.
I'm grateful, and godly proud of our interaction this morning and handling things the way that they went, because sometimes technical difficulties can cause strife. But one of the things that I actually remember is that strife and friction has two roles.
Okay.
Sometimes it is intended to polish, to make things better for both individuals. But sometimes it's also, when it's not being used well, it creates an opportunity for the enemy to find a space for himself in what's supposed to be a three-strand cord that only includes the husband, the wife, and the Lord. No room for Satan unless you allow it.
Mhm.
So no friction.
Think of it in high school, and they don't even have these in high schools anymore. We had a thing called shop, and we had a metal shop. And in
Mm.
the metal shop, they had these metal files, and the metal file was used to smooth out something that you were making. Okay, to take off the rough edges. And I always think of the metal filing, like when we're going through some tribulation, like
Wow.
God is trying to teach us a lesson, and sometimes we have to learn that lesson more than one time. Like you have to save money, you got to learn that lesson. And I think of that as God as filing us so that we can be more useful, filing us so that we can be better,
So that
you
we
know?
can be better than what we were yesterday.
Hmm.
So that we can be the best thing that's needed for this moment. What I am learning and feeling right now is respecting the process. One thing is not necessarily better than the other, but it may be that one thing is more needful than the other for this time. We talked about that last night. When you need a hammer, a screwdriver just won't do.
That's right.
Now we've all learned how to make do with that butter knife instead of the screwdriver.
One of the funny videos we did, I got a package in the mail and we decided to record it outside.
Without the proper tools to open the
Mail,
box.
a box of mail wrapped in tape. What's a proper tool to open that? A scissors, a knife. I didn't have a scissors or knife handy, but there just happened to be a screwdriver out there. So I attempted to open the package with the screwdriver, and
And it can happen.
it
You
got
can do it.
done. It was horrible. It was horrible, but we got it
That's
done.
right, Piggy. Thank you for picking up the key.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
Amen.
talked about the key last night.
No,
Oh,
she saw the key right there. I got my keys out. The
Lisa
Lord
got
has given.
lots of keys,
I got tons of keys, and I'm grateful.
like these brass keys. She's got them all over. She's got keys like this all over, all different sizes. She got a bunch of them in a bag. She's got some downstairs and all in her closet. But the key finder, remember the movie The Matrix, the key finder, the key master.
Key master.
Okay. The keys that unlock the door. So Lisa's got keys. Lisa's a key master too. What time is it?
49.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to my saying.
Amen. That's right, baby. She said I was saying use a key to open the box. Oh, that's a good idea.
I could have used the key to open the
We
box.
didn't have no keys handy. And why the screwdriver was handy, I don't know.
I don't know why I was outside either, but it was.
That means that it was not put where it was supposed to be. So often we just use what's handy as opposed to using what's assigned.
The whole video would have been better if I had taken 30 seconds to just walk into the kitchen and get a scissors or a knife or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want, I was live, I was recording, I didn't want to interrupt.
So we had prepared to have everything laid out.
I hate that video because I'm struggling to open it up with a key. I can't stand watching it.
But you learned something, and I'm sure the audience learned something.
They learned to laugh at me trying struggling, open up a box with a screwdriver.
Maybe that laugh will remind them the next time they try to use a butter knife instead of a screwdriver.
Oh my gosh. It was terrible. I was sweating.
He was working hard for that.
Because I wanted to talk as I opened it. It would have been so much better if I could do it smooth. The presentation would have been better. But the presentation was, I was struggling. But anyway, I hate that moment. I got to go. I'm looking forward to my day. I hope you are too.
We appreciate you. Remember, love on yourself as much as you need to. And while you're at it, don't forget to have sex.
Whoop, whoop.
We love you.